How do you feel about that reading now, a year
That
later?
reading was actually 100% true.
Mine was like 65.
Yeah.
I need to go.
No, I remember my dad was in the hospital, and I remember this tarot reader, and she actually asked me, "Do you want to use tarot cards?" I said, "No, if you don't
yeah,
have
she
any."
asked you.
I said, "If you don't have any," and I said, "This is how I knew she was legit." She said, "You've got somebody that is sick," and she was like, "He's going to get out, but it's going to take a little bit longer."
And it was so
And
true.
we were planning for him to come out in November before Thanksgiving, but he actually didn't come out of the hospital until Christmas. And so she was spot on about that. And then my day job, she told me, she was like, "You're not going to be at that job in the year 2022." Oh, wow. And I said, "Okay." And
you have been saying that too, though. Since I have known you, it's like, oh, I fucking hate my job. It just financed my business.
It does. I'm sorry. When you're an entrepreneur,
like we'll be out there working, like my job financed my business.
It finances my life and it finances my business.
Yeah.
So for the entrepreneurs out there, you don't always have to quit your job. Yeah. If you can be profitable as quickly as possible, sure, go ahead and do it. Me, I am a working entrepreneur. I'm a working socialite, and my business is a different stream of income. I'm all of it. Pop the fan, honey.
Hold on.
Pop the fan. Hold on.
It has to be the right hand.
That hand. Give it just, it's just a flick with the wrist. Hold on. This is how you pop a fan, everybody. You just hold it, and it's just a little flick of the wrist, and you just
let it go.
There you
the
go.
fingers go.
Yeah, she just pop, let it go.
See, a bitch is too aggressive over here. I'm all aggressive and shit.
Just flick it. Yes! Yes! Have you done it?
No, I do it on when I do my face.
Oh yeah. A little bit harder. Hold on.
See, us women
can't. And I have nails. Okay, do it again. How would I do it?
Hold it and then just.
Yes, that noise.
It's just a fan. Like, yeah, it's just a fan.
Bitch,
you just have to
you're cheating. You're cheating. Over there trying to ease it open.
Maybe your nails are in the way. Maybe.
She's gripping it tight.
Yeah.
I got Alcon.
Okay. He's like,
there you go. He's like,
let me show these bitches one more again. He did it easy, like
with the drink in his hand.
Okay, like woo 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 woo.
Oh my god, I love my fans. It's mostly because I'm internally hot all the time. It really, like, it's great because I'm gay, but then, like, I just get hot.
You just get hot. You got for your birthday?
I did, yeah, because I wanted something that said iconic.
Yeah. So, I love it.
It's like your friends know.
Yeah.
They know you.
Like,
people expect so much of me. I'm like, I have set this level of expectation.
Like, the bar is high, and I didn't even put it there. Who the fuck told y'all to put this bar up here?
Yeah, because I even asked you tonight. I was like, are we comfy or like, am I on camera? And then I was like, okay.
Oh, that's right. I didn't tell you we were going to be on camera.
Yeah, no, I did not know.
I'm such a terrible host.
I was going to show up in pajamas.
Oh my gosh.
Because you said we were drinking wine.
She was like, how about we do pajamas on our show so we talk about the naked truth?
Well, just because whenever we get together, her and I, we're in comfy
We're in comfy
clothes.
clothes. We're not dolled up.
Doing it upside down.
Yeah, we're not dolled up. That's us.
Yeah.
So it's like we want to be raw and authentic and be ourselves and not put on a facade. But look at a bitch right now. Look at me.
And that's the makeup and everything. That y'all talk about naked truth. I do. If I have to show up to an event or a birthday dinner or whatever, I'm coming with 100% Phillip all the way. Yeah. My friends call me diva, and I am, and I can be.
I
But
love that you can say that.
when you like know the real true me, I
You
will
know-
show up with sweatpants.
Yes.
And we will go to
Oh my
brunch
God.
in sweatpants.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I've just started owning sweatpants that I stole from my children. But I think I have that misconception. Like, I invited a girlfriend when I won the tickets to the Margarita Festival.
Oh, yeah.
And every time people come around me, they doll themselves and like, oh, I know I was coming with you, so I need to look a certain way. I'm like, bitch, I'm bougetto over here. Like,
No, I show up in a t-shirt and a bun.
well, I do spruce myself up, but the older I'm getting, like, you hardly see me in heels anymore.
Yeah,
I'm always in flats. Like, I was that crazy bitch when I was pregnant with Bailey in 6-inch stilettos until I gave birth, and the doctor's like, so I see you here in 6-inch stilettos. Can I put you on bed rest? You go into labor next week. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do it. But I have calmed down.
Yeah.
I'm now like I'm touching them golden years. And people take offense. I've always said that, like you said, you're planning your 40th birthday. Yes. I was like, when I turn 40, I'm gonna be a millionaire.
Okay.
That
I wrote that down when I was 16.
That has been my goal. I'm like, when I turn 40, I'm going to be a millionaire. My kids know it. I have been saying this for years. I think I've been saying this since Rebecca met me.
By any means necessary.
I don't know how the fuck it's gonna happen, but it's going to.
Necessary.
I have a year and a half to.
I'm like, look, it is not my job to figure out how to be a millionaire. It's not my job.
We're just supposed to manifest and be moving. Right. You're learning something today. Manifestation works by believing and being a whole subject. It ain't your job to figure it out. The universe is smarter than you.
You gotta let it go.
Just let it go.
I'm older than both of y'all, and now I just live my life as I want to live my life.
As you want to live your life.
Stress. And I've told my husband, when I told him, I was like, you know what, I want to go to Thailand this summer. He's like, oh, I don't know about that. I'm like, no, you can come with me. Just tell everybody. You can come with me, but I'm
He's like I'm automatically included of your husband.
It is almost your signature, like my fan.
It was back then. You don't see me with it no more, but it's about to resurface.
There's a lot going on.
It's about to resurface. Oh my God, girl! I kept the damn pen. I kept me a pen.
Oh, all the time.
All the time.
So many people there, and you with the pen.
Yes, I kept, but it was one guy that was like actually smoking weed in the building.
He'll come. He's like, hey.
Yes, and he was. I'm like, you in the buildings, and we're here in downtown Dallas, smoking the weed in the building. He was like, I don't care. And then he was with the person that was throwing on the guy that I ended up kicking it with. Honey, I'll be attracting them ballers too, honey. Shirai. Okay. The deck. It was so lit before the pandemic.
Oh my God.
It was so lit. We was at every fucking thing.
So send me an invite. So you want to go? This is before. I'm like, I'm new here. I'm new to Dallas. I don't know where that's at. I was like,
I got her out her shell.
She got me out my shell.
Yeah, that's cool.
And now my husband's like, are you going out again this week? I'm like,
I'm so glad he's like receptive to me. He's like, okay, you in Koya?
Yeah, what are y'all doing now?
Yeah. And he doesn't feel like I got her out hoeing or anything. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, he trusts me. So
he knows what
it's like, you know,
he knows that we both work to each other.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. But
it's just worth, you know your worth, you're all good.
But you know, like,
he's been my man for 22 years.
That's incredible.
Goals.
Inspiring me.
I mean, that better be 22 years.
We been waiting this long.
This should make it last forever and ever. It better last forever at this age.
Right.
Shit.
Yeah. And let the people know I am available.
He's motherfucking available. But let me tell you something, honey. I gotta put you can't just be saying that you got my baby travel. He's gonna be going to Singapore.
Yes, I'm going to Bali.
And Singapore. Yeah, so. He is going where I want to move. I want to have a house in Bali. Yeah. I have been saying this. I want a house in Bali. And so you gotta be on your shit. Okay. He told you he's a socialite, he's an entrepreneur. He's all about being free, spontaneous, living his truth, and being respectful in your vibration.
Don't be the one where you're attaching because he does this shit. Do it because you want it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, don't think You finna get with him and sit his ass down.
No,
be like,
you get with
you're
me,
doing
you better
too.
get ready
You gotta.
to have your life
That's
elevated.
my whole point. You gotta be on the same wavelength.
You're
If
gonna
you're a
elevate each other.
homebody, if you don't like to travel, this is not the bae for you.
Yeah,
because this bae travels.
Exactly.
Okay,
I
and
travel.
he and like he
but I do
tells
know
you,
how to sit on the couch when I need to. The
And
pandemic
take a
taught
break,
me
yeah.
how to sit down.
It's all of us.
I have balance.
But you heard the word socialite. You
Yes.
gotta have self-esteem. Don't be jealous because that's another thing with being an entrepreneur. That's why I'm like, I feel like I have to be with someone that's an entrepreneur because you don't understand my hustle when I'm out and about. You know my phrase that pays that I used to say, I party with a purpose.
Yes.
No matter where I went, I was gonna give you my fucking business card and I connected with you and then it was a party with a purpose. I go to certain type of environments because I'm partying with a purpose. But if you're not an entrepreneur, you won't understand it.
Don't get it. My husband's not an entrepreneur.
And he doesn't understand
he don't understand it. So whenever I tell him, it's like, you have to realize one Sunday a month and a Saturday, I'm not going to be here at night.
And now it's every week.
Yeah, and now he's like, okay, I see why you're saying it.
Yeah, and it's like if it's someone that's kind of insecure or went through whatever hurt that they went through, they're not gonna fathom. Well, why are you working at this hour? It's 9 o'clock. Who records the show at 9 o'clock at night? I don't believe you. I think it's something else going on. You have wine and you do yes.
Yeah. We're a whole different relationship though. People question like, y'all married like that. Like, hey,
your marriage is completely different from the rest of my married friends.
And guess what? Relationships are supposed to be your relationship.
Yours.
You don't have to meet what society is saying.
Yeah,
so like,
we're way over that. We're not close to no one's
and no one should be judging that. Because I don't want you to judge mine when I get into one. You ain't gonna judge it.
Okay, baby.
Yeah.
But
ours
you know this is
you know what? I like ours. The reason I say like it is because 22 years. When they say through thick and thin, it's through some thickness and some thickness and some thickness. And then they're like, oh, okay, now we're doing great. But like I've told Coy, it's like gone through all that, you learn how to love someone and appreciate. Yeah. And I can say right now, I really do love my husband.
Oh,
like
that warms
I
my heart.
To see him come home. Yeah. I get excited. He calls me at the same time. He can call me from when I leave work until I get home into the driveway.
And he does.
Yeah. He's like, are you here? It's like, yeah, I'm here. Yeah. He's like, oh, okay, I see you inside. And then there's a meal made. He loves to cook.
Oh my gosh, he cooks for all of us. Yeah. I'm like, I fucking love porridge now, and I never had it.
That's one thing
I love porridge now.
Okay. It's bubu ayam. I may be pronounced it. Don't call me out on that. Okay. But it's bubu ayam. It's chicken porridge.
Oh, it was chicken in it?
No,
chicken?
He didn't make chicken.
I was like,
I don't eat chicken. Yeah. But he made it with mushrooms this time.
Oh, it was
but
so
it has
good.
Chicken. It has fried shallots, green onions. Oh, it's so good. You got. If you get it on the side of the street, it's compared to American money, it's only like 30 cents for American money.
Oh my gosh!
So
I thought that porridge was like oatmeal.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah,
for some reason, my kids were like excited to try. It's like, yeah, we want porridge. We want porridge. Phineas like,
the Chinese stone.
You're right.
Oh
Phineas like, do y'all want some porridge? And me, I was apprehensive. I'm like, no, I don't want no fucking porridge. And then
you were thinking oatmeal.
Yeah, really not a sweet. Like I don't eat breakfast a lot because most of breakfast is sweet, and I don't like the sweet stuff. And the girl's like, yeah, I want porridge. And Chloe took that first bite. She's like. It reminds me of chicken noodle soup without the noodles. And yes. Oh, it was so delicious.
Okay. Yeah, he's a cooker in that. Like,
he made us vegan beef and broccoli during the snowstorm.
Wow.
When we was iced in.
Oh, that was awful. That was another life-changing thing for me. That storm.
No, when the school across the
I wanted to break into that school.
Backyard,
I made a whole post about breaking into the school.
I saw that post.
Electricity. Yeah. Oh, she didn't say electricity right then. I think the cold got to her. Yeah. But we didn't have no heat or anything.
No, we would have we would have power for like 30 minutes. Yeah. It would come on for like, but we were able to eat because thankfully they have gas stoves and take a bath. But other than that, we was freezing. You talk about we bonded like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
We bonded. That probably put
It
Fendi,
was a bond.
that probably helped Fendi bond with us even more.
Yeah.
Because we all had to be closer in one room
We
because
did.
it was fucking freezing. And then
was
we were
so
being
cold.
tortured looking at this school that looks like the White House.
And has
lit up
electricity.
from not only the school but to the damn parking lot.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah.
That was the worst time, and that honestly was another pivotal thing in my life that said, fuck all of these things that don't matter. I'm going to live my life, because that was awful. I thought I was going to die from being so cold.
Oh, yeah, seriously.
Yeah, I was
and,
like,
especially people that were by themselves.
And I was, and so thank God that my friends Bianca and Lucas, they had power. They saved my life.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I got to a place where it was like, so are we just
and then
going
it was
to
hard
not
to
have...
even get anywhere.
You couldn't, because the streets were iced over. I felt like, what is going to happen? Like, the apartment, the doors were open and people from the street were able to just come in the apartment.
Yeah.
I felt unsafe.
Unsafe.
Wow.
Oh, wow. I almost got kidnapped at his apartment. So
yes, you did. You know, my neighborhood has some character.
And you know how it was safe to park there?
Girl, you know how uptown and downtown is. You could be Phillip side is the money side, and then literally right across the street is not that. I'm in downtown, he's in uptown. And I was just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I remember saving your life that night. And I was like,
so
who is this person talking to Corey? I was like,
he was not even talking. He was just like
grabbing.
Yeah, and you open the door. I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot get in the building. I'm so fucking scared. And I was stuck in this little rail stairway thing up into the building. I was like, he opened the door. Like, if it had been a second later.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no.
So I know your fear, because the neighbor, it's like, that's uptown and downtown. Like even that Munger house. Yeah. You got this $1 million house, and then across the street is hood.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely a mixed neighborhood. I mean, I love it. But I think about my safety, because if it's dark, no electricity, I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on here? And so I know exactly what
and
you're
with the
talking
fob,
about.
like, how's everything working? And
they just left the doors open, so it was almost like the fucking like Wild West, because there was no order, there was nobody in the apartment complex, there was no security.
Yeah, everything was out.
Yeah, and in an apartment, everything's electric. The ones that I live in. Yeah. There was
you didn't get your car out.
I didn't get my.
You couldn't get your car out either.
The streets were ice.
Well, you couldn't go anywhere.
And I just was like, you know what? I'm gonna like give up. Like, I feel like I am a survivor, but I was like, I can't survive this. It's so cold. And I remember all I had was this quilt that my mom made me, and that helped me, but it was still so cold.
Because you don't have a fireplace. Huh?
No, there's no fireplace. And I just remember laying there that night in the dark, and I said, I was talking to God. I said, God, am I going to die?
It
was awful.
It really was.
Because there was no hot way to get a hot meal.
No way.
And all I remember was
because that's why I want gas stoves. Like, here I don't.
Yeah.
I'm like, my next place, I'm going to have a gas stove.
Look, I tell you what, after that ice storm, I will always be prepared.
Always be prepared.
Yeah.
Like,
not just with toilet paper.
It's like this generators work in apartment.
Yeah, that's why we got a bidet. We ain't playing with that toilet paper shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, I remember I was going through some toxic stuff at my job, and that ice storm, when I came out of that and my power came on, I said, I'm not dealing with no more toxic shit.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what the pandemic did for everybody.
Same thing, yeah.
It's like they talk about people not working, and it was like, this is the thing. I was one of them unemployed motherfuckers, because like I had to shut down my business when the pandemic happened, when I had to salon.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, because it was hands-on, had to be in your face, and I had to close it. But it was like, even when I went to work, It was like, no, you're not finna pay me pennies anymore.
No,
I've survived without the money,
Yeah.
and again, you start reevaluating what's more valuable. That's what the pandemic opened the eyes
and
to.
I felt like because we had the pandemic, and then we went straight into that ice storm in 2021.
Oh my gosh, that was.
And it was just like, this is a lot. I really did think it was the end because I'm like, man, we barely are making it through this pandemic. Mm-hmm. And then here we are in a state that I think has lots of electricity. We are big in oil and gas.
And they took it from how the fuck Texas is known for oil and gas? And how the Iraq system just gonna be like, oh, well, we're gonna turn your shit off on purpose.
They turned my power off.
They
talked about that
purpose.
The power was going to be rolling. My shit did not roll.
Could you give me that last quarter?
I mean, you still
Look,
got some of
it's
your glass.
traumatizing talking about ERCOT. That name gives me PTSD, so you gotta pour the wine. When I hear the name ERCOT, it pisses me off because it's like, how could you let people be without power?
So many people died. My friend, her whole house burned down.
Oh, the house burned down.
Her whole house burned down. Remember, I posted it with her GoFundMe. I'm like, help her. I'm like, it was so much. It wasn't an apartment up the street that completely got demolished on one side, brand new, in Frisco.
Yeah. I remember, I'm like, when I make it through this, shit is changing.
Yeah, it's like, and I think those things take place to change the trajectory of your life.
Yeah.
You know, to make you start, like you said, realizing what is more important. Because especially in the state that we're in, it's so money driven.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, I know they say that about New York and everything. I guess, period, worldwide, in America. You know, that's one of the reasons why I'm so fixated. For some reason, Bali, it just like threw me off. He's like, I'm going to Bali and Singapore. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Like, I'm so set to being there. My mom sent me a video of this woman, this black, and I guess she's Grubhub. She's the CEO of Grubhub, and I never knew that. I didn't know it was a black woman, and she's younger than me, way younger than us. And I may have the wrong thing, Ready Hub or some shit. Anyways, I'm gonna look it up. I'll put it in the caption. But my mom was like, I see this girl, and it's all I think is you. Mm-hmm. And that was one of the things I'm like, in other countries, they're not fixated on business and work. Like, I just got to watch it, and I have not been outside of the country, but stay tuned. I bet she's finna.
My goal is for her to get outside of the country.
He will be there. Mm-hmm. He will be there.
Oh yeah, it's happening.
So that is our goal. This.
Oh yeah.
Well, you are a fucking given.
Yeah.
You are a given. But I'm just like, we will be there because I'm like the bitch. Just like, I'm not having a wedding. I'm going to Bora Bora. I'm eloping to Bora Bora. I'm not having a wedding. I have been saying that for 10 years.
Yeah, I know.
And so it's just like when my mom sent me that, like even with this movie or show series that me and Bailey just watched, Emily in Paris. Oh. I don't know what's true and what's not because I haven't been in Paris.
Yeah.
But they was like, you know, one thing that this man said was the difference between America is y'all live to work and we work to live.
That's true. What I do now. I work to live.
Yeah.
Like, I may not love my job to the deepest, but you know what? It finances me to do what I want to do.
You find your happiness.
Yeah.
The work to live is like creating healthy boundaries to me.
Absolutely.
When you live to work, it's like you don't. That's my dad.
Yeah.
He lives to work, like no vacation. Yeah, no vacations, no planning, nothing. Like it's just work.
Absolutely.
And it's like, you know, I had kind of got that into my mindset, looking at him like, okay, I gotta work. I gotta run myself into the ground, and the best it can be is what I do here,
and
where I live.
People like to get themselves defined by what they do, because we live in America, and in Dallas. It's always, even when we were out in the streets and socializing, people are like, what do you do?
Yeah. That's the first question that everybody asks. What do you do?
Yeah.
I'm like, I make money.
Yes,
multiple
sis.
streams of income.
What do? I make money.
Multiple
That is
streams
my
of
new
income.
answer. I
Oh,
make
yeah.
money.
Yeah.
But it's true. Like, this is one thing I've heard lately that my husband and I live by now is you do the things that you hate so you can do the things that you love.
Absolutely.
Oh,
That
yes.
is my life.
Most
I feel
definitely.
like I am one of those diamonds that just had to go through so much pressure. And I feel like that's the metaphor of my life. I've done the things that were hard and difficult so I can do the things that I love.
Yeah. That's how I live my life now.
Yeah. It's the
I may
best
not
way
go
live.
to like I'm gonna go out to different places. But like even when I just go to little place Austin, San Antonio, Houston,
Sure.
that's just a little time.
Yeah.
Some people
I'm the
don't
baby
even
of
take
the
that
group.
time. Some people don't even take the time just to even
You get like that, yeah.
I'm like the baby of the group, learning from y'all and trying to get there.
You will get there.
Oh yeah, I hate the word try. How dare I say
Once
that?
you set that intent, it's just going to
I
happen.
really want to try to make it to Costa Rica in February.
You are going to get there. If you have set the intent and said, I'm
I
going,
said it. I was
go.
like, I
Exactly.
messaged Rebecca. I was like, I'm going. I want to go there. But then when I looked at the prices, I got fearful again.
No,
like,
don't look at the prices.
That's what stops
Never
you.
look at the prices.
Yeah.
Well, I have to look at the prices.
Like,
I know, but those prices
Well, you educate
will
me,
drop.
because baby,
Those prices will drop.
So we do plan on doing retreats with this eventually.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, we want to do retreats. And so one of the podcasts that we love, shout out to Good Moms Bad Choices. We fucking love you too, bitches. Y'all motivate us. Yes, they are so badass. Y'all have inspired us and played a huge role in us having our podcast. But they just came from Costa Rica and they took their kids and everything. And I think they go like twice a year, maybe 2 or 3 times a year, and do a retreat. Yeah. And I was listening to their podcast. So I was at work and it's like, well, we just launched our new date. We're going to February. And I was like, I'm motherfucking going to this retreat. And then I went to go look and I was like, oh my God.
If you really
I was like, am I going to go?
You know what? You need to just put it on your vision board and just let it work. Bali has been a bucket list item or a live list.
I know, that's like my living list.
I just live. I have always wanted to go to Bali. And this year I decided, I said, this is the year I'm going because I went through such a crazy 2021.
Oh my gosh, you did.
I am so happy that I have survived 2021. Most people said 2020 was bad for them, and I understand.
2021 was my worst year.
2021 was horrendous for me. And so I am on a different journey this year than I was before. And so, like, my people know that my brand is on pause. It's on pause because I have
to
get
take time for yourself
to something that I love, but I have to be okay with myself and get through some shit that I went through in 2021, and I will come back to it. So I promise you, it's Fit Clothing is coming back. Don't worry, it's my baby. I'm never gonna let it just like die.
But what clothing line do you see that be showing up all year? You know,
exactly.
They're seasonal.
Things are seasonal, and it's like I'm gonna come back, and I'm gonna come back at a time where I've been healed and like just better. And so for me, 2022 has been about my journey of getting back to myself. And so that's why I'm doing the music thing, and then I'm doing some healing, and that's why I wanted to go to Bali. And those prices were so expensive. And so I said, you know what? I'm putting Bali in big letters on my vision board. And I left it there. And it was probably from February to May. I looked at this every morning when I got up, but the prices were so expensive to fly to Bali. And magically,
it happened. You manifested it.
There was some kind of flight deal. Yeah, like $700. And I said, you know what? Here it is. Mm-hmm. I'm going to just book this flight. It has been several years since I have done a flight that's going to be over 20 hours.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to it because I needed to get back to that version of myself that was adventurous.
Yes.
I feel like in the pandemic, like I was forced to sit down and then forced to learn this new way of living and a new way of doing things. And then hit me with 2021, the ice storm. My dad got super sick and was in the hospital for 6 months.
Yeah.
And I was struggling because I was like, I know I can do all of this, but my God, like I need help. And so I started going to therapy, and I decided in that moment, like, yes, I'm going through this. I'm going to get through it and I'm going to make it to the other side. But I knew that in 2021, 2022,
Yeah.
that this was the year that I got back to that full self. Because, I am still myself, but, sometimes we lose it.
Right.
When you're going through so much shit and all this crap is falling on top of your head, you lose yourself, and it's like even sadder when you know the person that you used to be. And I knew that I loved all these things, and that included my clothing line. I loved it. I did a fashion show in December in the midst of my dad was still in the hospital, and I literally had to fake this fashion show. And it was probably the best fashion show that
you
I
put
had
on
ever done.
Wasn't it like in Austin?
It was in Austin, and it was my
Yeah.
favorite theme. And I literally had so much shit going on that I don't remember the fashion show because I had to fake it. And I was like, this is not what I should be doing. I shouldn't be faking this. Like, this is the best collection I have ever created. And I just felt like I was just going through the motions.
Yeah.
And that is why I truly put Fit Clothing on pause. It's not done, it's just on pause because it's like you need to go handle some healing and handle stuff. So, entrepreneurs, like, make sure you take care of yourself.
Rest is essential. And taking the
rest
time
is
out.
essential. And there are times when you're like, I wish that I was fortunate enough that I could pass this on to somebody else.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, I am the designer, customer service, the social media manager, and I work a job to pay for all of this, and I just could not do it. I couldn't find the strength. And so for me, Bali is this spiritual retreat that I'm going on. And you're going to go. Yeah. You're going to go. But Bali is something that I just feel like I need to do. Like, I need a monk to bang the gong over my head and just do some healing. And then I'm going to come back better than ever. And I know that I'm not done with all my creative ideas.
Yeah. You never know. You're going to find some inspiration while you're over there.
Exactly.
That's usually what happens.
Yeah, I find a lot
That's
of
why I feel like, it's so essential that I do get out and travel, but it's like I get all these other thoughts in my head.
Yeah.
I would have to send you a list of places that we went to. That you're gonna love. We stayed at one place in the middle of the forest. Like, I thought we were lost, but it was actually 6 rooms in the middle of the forest. Yeah. But you have a private beach that you have to drive to, but it has the best sunset ever.
Oh.
And you have I'm gonna have to send it. I'll send you all the places.
We're so happy to have you. We can go on and on and on and on and on.
That's what we're like. Should we do our podcast 30 minutes?
It's like the average.
It depends on the guest.
Yeah. Not only that, sometimes it's like, what do y'all talk about? It's 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. I'm like, we do not know how to shut the fuck up. Like, we just go with the vibration. Like, if we have something to say and something comes to surface, we talk about it. But it has definitely been an absolute joy. We mentioned your music. We want to put that shit out there.
Yeah,
yes.
You thought.
What's
the name of the song?
So the name of the song is You Thought, and we spell it THOT.
Because, bitch, you a thought.
And
you thought. Now, you thought you had me, but you thought.
Yeah, no, the intent of the song was, you thought that I couldn't get over you. You thought all these different things. It's actually about a real person. And actually, you met the person.
You met him.
Oh my my God.
I looked at you like,
yes, you know exactly. And so the song is about someone that I had met, and I met them at a party, and I literally, like, when I saw this person walk in the room, I was like, who
is that motherfucker right there?
Yeah, and I don't know, I felt a vibe of like, this could be something.
That's deep. Like when you feel
was
something
deep.
like that and it's not
Yeah.
what the fuck you feel.
Yeah.
We both had that encounter as friends.
We did, yes. And so the sad part is that this person is still great. I just think it was the timing of the situation.
Yes.
They were coming out of a relationship. And then I was just kind of like the fun person in between.
What they call the rebound.
Yeah.
The rebound.
And so I was the rebound, and I knew I was the rebound, but you know
was
what?
like,
I'm a Cancer. That's my zodiac. So like we just stupidly fall into these things and instantly fall for people that we have no business falling for. And my feelings got hurt.
Yeah.
It was a short fling, but still a fling that I'm glad that I had. But I was like, wow, this is the way that ended. Wow,
Right.
I got ghosted. And so the song is really meant as an empowerment song, just to say you thought all of these things that you did and whatever that broke us up would like break me. And so the song is actually just kind of catchy in a way of saying that I'm empowered. You thought that you did this, you thought that I did that.
I love the you thought part because it's like you may receive it as you thought, but bitch, I'm calling you a thought. You thought you thought. Like I'm putting you in your place, in your position, and where you stand in my life. Not you thought. You thought.
Yes,
like I love that.
So I wrote it that way, and so this is the first time I had ever written a song, and so I got connected to my producer Sam. Shout out to Sam.
Shout
and
out.
It was actually his idea to title it THOT, and I was like, how did you know that that's what I meant? And he was just like,
I'm listening to the word.
Yeah. And so that double word of thought and you thought, it just matched up. And it's such a fun, catchy song.
It is.
So,
when I first heard it, I'm like, why is Philip's face showing this song? And then I listened to it, I'm like, oh my God, that's Philip. and then I was quick, like, did Philip make this song? She's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, that's Philip. That's so good.
Thank you. That is the very first
So where
song.
can they catch your single?
The single is streaming on all platforms. I'm on Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, pretty much anywhere music is sold, you can get it.
Ooh, Tidal, I forget about this.
Yeah, Tidal, shout out to Black Owned.
Okay, it's that Beyonce and Justin. You love you some Queen Bee.
Okay, I love Beyonce. So yeah. And then my social media is I am Phillip White. And pretty much you can catch anything that I'm doing, whether it'll be clothing. And I can say that I am working on something, so there will be some clothing.
If you want to know what is to come or what is in motion, I am Phillip White.
I am Phillip
White. I pair of your shoes that's on there.
The shoes are so good. The shoes are available, so shoes, all those, I get nothing but compliments about the shoes.
They look lightweight. They look lightweight.
No, my website is live and there are plenty of
clothes. It's still going. He's just he's put a pause on creating a new line.
Pause on the next collection.
Yeah.
And I'm paused on social media because I'm trying to find that.
I haven't seen you on social media.
I know.
I only see your stories, but I guess because I see your stories, that I haven't even realized that you haven't posted.
Yeah, I am learning my balance. Like we're talking about our naked truth. Social media is one of those things that I used to love before I had a business. But then before it was like obligatory, but you had to be on there. Exactly.
For marketing.
To be very honest with you, Instagram was a platform where I was just finding a place to share my travel pictures of just where I go and sharing things, and it was kind of like a way of like cataloging a memory.
Yeah.
Like all of our memories, like you could still go back and see all of our pictures together. Like your birthday at Don't Tell Supper Club, that picture is still on my profile.
We both went out at the deck.
Yes,
celebrating.
All those. That is my
the
favorite
deck of
picture.
Dragon.
That's one of my favorite pictures.
We went to another because we fucking bar hop.
We went
no telling where. Yeah, we never went to just one spot. You saw a picture. But
every club in Dallas, we were there. If it was new, we were there.
And to be specifically in downtown Uptown, because we bougie bitches over here.
And if you think we're bougie, it's because you can't afford it.
I'm like, this is my luxury friend over here. I'm like, you're so luxurious. It's like, let me find a better word for what you are. My luxurious friend over here.
But yeah, so social media, like most of the followers that I actually have on my page were based on just me sharing my authentic travel life. And then I came into the entrepreneurship side of things, and I was struggling with sharing my art.
That's true. Now that I think about it, you always shared more of your travel than you did of your clothing line.
Which there will be something with travel in the future.
I was oblivious to that because I met you in a fashion setting.
And you did.
And so that was the thing that gravitated towards me the most.
Yeah. And so for me, this next journey of what's going to happen, I'm probably going to outsource my social media for fit clothing because artists have a hard time sharing their art because it is vulnerable. It is very vulnerable. Yeah, no, it's
Wicked Lilies.
Yeah.
Wicked Lilies brought to you by Rebecca.
Yeah.
In case y'all didn't know,
and
Rebecca's Wicked Lilies.
That's another thing that I have to say that I am so thankful to my friends and the people closest to me.
Oh, yeah.
Because y'all kept fit clothing going, and y'all are still motivating me to come back. Like, y'all are telling me, wait, I hadn't seen you on social media. I was like, I'm on a break, but I am coming back because I know people are asking for it, and that is good to feel like
that means they like it and looking forward.
They like what I'm doing in it, so it's like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to have this what they call imposter syndrome, and I realized that I had that because it was like. Yeah,
I'm sorry, I took a gas.
No,
I literally just
because you know me, and I honestly, I felt like a little bit of imposter syndrome, and so for me, sharing my art is so hard, and so I actually met someone through social media, and he was struggling as well, and the best advice he gave me was like outsource that shit. So I will be having somebody that I pay to post social media for my clothing brand because the clothing brand is hot. Like it is hot.
Yeah, it is fucking hot. I was like, this shit I can wear to brunch.
Yeah.
Or the gym. Yeah, it was like if it's like if I want to go catch brunch first and then go to the gym, I feel cute either way, and I love it, and it's so unisex as well, and it's not matter if you.
Not only that, it's for real.
It's for real fucking people.
It's not like we used to.
It's not no mannequin shit.
You can't see my hip bone through that. My really But it's like that's what I really like.
Yeah, it's like not made for no mannequins. Yeah, it's made for a human.
Yeah, no, I worked really hard on the women's collection, and I launched that with my ethos of body positivity because I am not a skinny bitch. It just is what it is. I'm thick. But I love myself. Okay. I was like, so when we do this, we're going to do it right. And so it took me a while to get there, but I was like, we're launching with extra small through 5X. No questions asked. And I did that, and I was super proud of myself. But then I still had this thing nagging with me with social media. It's like, oh my gosh, I know that this is great. People are telling me it's great, but I really had that imposter
because
syndrome.
we all have our strengths and our weaknesses.
Yeah.
We're not good at everything. You know, the one thing, like with me, with every single business, like you said, having to wear every single cap.
Exactly.
And especially as a single mom, not having a spouse, and everything is like, I had to shut down that static.
Yeah.
And people be shocked when I tell, they don't fucking, it ain't even no shock. They think I'm a liar.
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't like social media. I
don't.
don't like taking pictures. And it was like, how you're lying? I see you. It's like you don't see me post pictures really. You see me go live, and you don't be on Facebook. You be more so on Instagram.
Yeah,
I was on Facebook, and I noticed that I made more business off of Facebook because it was my demographic, older people who was actually willing to spend money. Instagram is people who are just looking at you, but I noticed that on Facebook it's people who are actually really gonna either support you and spend money or not. And so I would go live though. You wouldn't see pictures of me. For some reason, I was comfortable being on the camera going live, but I'm not good at posting pictures. And then even with that, it's like you see my personality, not my personal life. Like I'm still very private. I'm still like no one knows what the fuck Nicole you really got going on. I don't think you know if she's plant based. And that she's an entrepreneur and she's into spirituality. And I know people know that because when you brand yourself, people bring to you what they see you are. And that's one thing that I am thankful for showing up on social media outside of my comfort zone, is because I don't have to do all the work. Me showing up make people bring resources to me. Like today, even though I already had this, somebody, it's a Vegan Dale Festival. They automatically think about me. And one of our guests, Chauncey Pham, she was like, how can people know what you do if you don't put yourself out there? Exactly. How do you even get business? How do you build your demographic if you don't put yourself out there? Who the fuck, like, if you could they could just be out in a normal day-to-day life and they would think of you because you put yourself out there. But if you don't put yourself out there, you won't be the person that crossed their mind. Exactly. And so what I am thankful for, I get people all the time like, how do you find this stuff? How do you come across this? Because I put myself out there. And even if it doesn't come up in my feed, because I've created a brand. I don't, people think that creating a brand is by dollar signs. I am known for being a plant bae. I am known for but I just listen. So when people come across shit just on their regular feed, who crossed their mind and they send that shit to me, or if they have a question, they immediately think of me. That is the power of branding. And as an entrepreneur, that's one of the things that have always came across my mind is like, I don't fucking like social media. I struggle with posting. And I was within the business. They're like, post 3 times a day, do this, and I'm like, don't tell me what the fuck to do, because first of all, I'm fired. The moment you tell me to do some shit, I'm not gonna do it. You would have been better off at complimenting me on what I'm doing instead of telling me what I'm doing, because now I feel like it's work. And I've always looked at social media as me minding my business. And that's why I have used it as such, because I'm like, this is free marketing. This is free advertising. And even if I'm not showing up as often as somebody is telling me, I am still minding my motherfucking business. So when people have access to what you give them access to. And I think people get distracted by those who are not in our own wavelength and who are not in our same mindset that is putting drama and personal shit out there. And to make you be like, oh, I don't want to, and that staggers you though. Because that's what you see social media as. But me, I don't. I look at social media as like, oh, okay, I may not show up as often as the other motherfucker because I have more challenges that other people don't know about that I don't post about. But I literally look at social media as a business and marketing tool, as a branding tool. And so mind your business. And that's what I look at. I look at social media as minding my motherfucking business. Like in certain stuff that I put, again, I would show my personality, things that I'm interested in, because I'm not gonna wear a fucking filter. Hello. Never. I wear naked truth. I never have. So even though you don't know who I'm dating, who I voted for, no one knows who I voted for in any election. I'm posting like I did with the story today. I was driving and they had the signs, bet ghetto and not a real Mexican, but a real pedo. Like, I was like, the disrespect.
Wow.
This is a part of my branding. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would do little things like when me and you have our girls' night in.
Yeah.
I would, and I'm like, I gotta get this. I gotta get this right now for content.
Yeah.
It's like, as an entrepreneur, we do have to think a little further outside the box. I'm very big on working smarter and not harder because I'm a lazy fucking hard worker. And like Steve Jobs said, he's gonna hire the person that's lazy because they're gonna find the quickest and easy way to get the job done.
Yeah.
That is motherfucking Nicoya.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't like to fucking work. I say that all the time. If it was up to me, I'd work 3 days out of the week and the rest of my life would be sipping drinks and getting high and getting fucked and enjoying life. That's what the fuck I want to do. Whether it's on the patio in Indonesia and Paris, and the other 3 days is work.
Yeah.
So what can I do smarter to make this shit happen?
Yeah.
And so it's like, I think a lot of times we get caught up with personal. And with entrepreneurship, it's a balance. It's logic and personal.
It is. Yeah, it's a mix. And I struggle with that balance. And so the thing that I was like, you know what? I'm going to ask some experts. And so, you know Jay Boleyn, right?
I met him.
Yes.
We met him several times. I've talked to him several times.
His sales are awesome. When they
Girl, do you know how much he's changed since I was at Nordstrom?
Yeah,
he used to come to Nordstrom all the time. And I was like, I talked to him, like, I want to, blah, blah, blah.
And he's killing the fashion game because if you see the You Thought photo shoot, I'm wearing a Jay Boleyn outfit. Yes, that is Jay Boleyn. Are the sauce to the entire thing. He was like, people need. He was like, honestly, he was like, don't even focus on fit clothing, social media. He was like, you just keep
focus
being
on your brand.
And he was like, you are Phillip White. Like, your brand is fit clothing, but you yourself are the owner, and you are basically, I'm the influencer for my brand. Yeah. Most influencers get to work other people's brands, but I get the benefit of, like, I influence my own brand. Mm-hmm. And so he just said, you need to do you, and you need to be in this fit clothing. And it was really the best advice. And it was like kind of helpful to just say, okay, I'm going to be myself and do the things that I want to do. And so I found that balance on my personal page to sort of just, talk about travel. And I wear my clothes when I travel. Yeah. And then I came out with sneakers, and it's like, awesome. I wear sneakers all the time. And so it's cool for me to just kind of wear these sneakers all over the world. Yeah. But yeah, it's still, I got to this place of, like, on the fit clothing page, I was like, wow, so much is going on. I still had this little bit of imposter syndrome. And so that's why I'm getting back to myself. And I've just taken this pause to essentially be like, okay, what are the things that we love? And how can I incorporate that back into my creativity? Yeah. And so I'm glad I'm doing the music. That's just another avenue of my creativity. Like, it doesn't have to be limited to one thing. Exactly.
It doesn't have to be limited. And I feel like here in America, we are, the Good Mom's Bad. Yeah. The Good Mom's Bad Decision, when they did this, she's like, everybody there does multiple things. They're like, oh, we do this, we do that, we do this, we can do that. Yeah. It's like in America, they put you in a box. It's like you either have to tap into this, and that's what you need to focus on, or you're going to be selling yourself short. Yeah. If you know what I'm saying, like, they kind of put a negative notion here in America. Yeah. And it's like, no. Why box ourselves in? Why?
And I hate being in a box. I hate it. It's the worst feeling to be trapped into something where people say, this is who you are. And it's like, no, I define who I am. Yeah. I define every part of what I do. And for me, it's like, you know what? I can pause whatever I want, because guess what? I'm creative. I created it once, I can create it again. Yeah. And when I come back after my little break that I'm taking, y'all get ready, because I'm going to have the best ideas. And I might even just switch it up to be where people don't even expect it from me.
Surprise.
I'm going to surprise people, and it's all about me taking care of myself. And I feel like entrepreneurs, you've got to take care of yourself.
That should be the main priority.
Yeah. And then when you are whole and happy, everything else is just going to
falls
flow.
into place.
It's going to fall into place.
So,
Yeah.
Phillip White, you have dropped a lot of gems tonight, honey. I think we probably have probably been talking for 3 hours.
Oh my gosh.
So,
I thought this was only 30 minutes.
It was supposed to be 30 minutes. I haven't checked the clock.
Oh my gosh.
An hour and 49, so we're doing good.
Oh.
So to close things off,
Sure.
with you coming on and revealing your naked truth, what is one of the things that you would like to share to inspire people to step into their truth and to encourage them to keep going when life challenges them?
Wow. Yeah, the thing that I would say is just always be true to yourself. Don't worry about what other people are thinking. I know that we have so many different directions that life likes to throw you. And so there's a Casey Musgrave song that is Follow Your Arrow. And it's just like the perfect song because that is really the trajectory of my life is that I have always gone, even when I was a little child, and knew that I didn't want to live this corporate life of working in a cubicle and in an office. I just always knew inside of me.
Don't deny what you've always felt.
I knew that I was going to, and it wasn't a matter of cockiness. I just knew that whenever they talked about you needed to go to college and do all of these things, I just knew internally my life was going to look different.
Yeah.
And I took that difference and it became my life. And you just shake off all these things that people keep throwing. You gotta be this, you gotta be that. I tell you what, there are so many things that I am, and it's like, you don't define who I am.
Exactly.
And once you live in your authentic truth, things will just have clarity.
Yeah.
And you'll just be able to be yourself and be vulnerable to the truth and know what is your truth. And I tell you what, when you do that, things get so much better.
It gets so much better because it's like a burden lifted off of you because
it is.
You're not seeking validation from anyone else.
It's like I don't give a fuck kind of situation.
Which is us. We don't give a fuck. No, we have Pussycat for you.
Oh.
So this is what we're doing for everyone. I always say every guest, but
we're not gonna say every guest, but we're doing it for Phillip.
Oh my gosh!
We got Pussycat shots.
Okay.
Pussy Control.
Oh, my favorite song.
That is her favorite fucking song.
She's like, what song you want to listen to? It's like,
So we're doing Pussycat shots. Here's a pussy for you. Phillip, you're gonna get to taste pussy today.
I love it. I've not done that before. There's a first time for everything.
And he did it here with us.
He did it here with us.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So we're gonna do did you already taste it, bitch?
No,
I was like,
it's like a dual.
Okay, I thought you was
It's
like
a dual mixture.
So cheers to our naked truth and having the fabulous Phillip White on our show. We have to have you again. Thank you for coming. Cheers. Pussycat. Ooh,
that's kind of creamy and delicious.
And with a little kick. Thank you for tuning in. We love y'all.
Bye.
Bye.